Was it 2 minutes? I think it's been 2 minutes since you posted the thing. And look at that. We told the truth. We're live on the internet.
All right. What is up, sir? What is up?
I'm just here, brother. Making sure I don't echo on myself. Happy Tuesday.
I see you got your Buffalo Bills hat.
I was going to wear a different one, but it would have been too shiny today, I think. I don't want to get too shiny on everybody.
Yeah.
Glisten. You know how like on a Monday night, how it glistens? How the stadium was glistening? It was great. Stadium was glistening last night.
Yeah.
What's today?
Today's Tuesday. What are you talking about? You did Monday Night Football. You did Monday Night Football in the land of the Bills. So how you not know what today is?
Where the Buffalo roam? Well, because it was a long day. That's why. That's why.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping all today. It's crazy.
So did you make it through the entire game with your head on your shoulders?
Yeah. Well, for the most part, right?
So what's this? Okay, so is the stadium rowdy?
Yes. What do you mean? Like, what does this mean? Like, do I got to get you to watch a football game? Like, just watch it. You don't gather it on television, I guess.
Okay, no. So I know that people are cheering.
Yes.
But is it like, it's like being in the stadium a thing? So like, say the football game's not even happening. Okay, football game's happening.
Yes.
Football game's happening. But is there? It's like their action
in the stadium.
Stands. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a video of a fight in the stands. It was great.
But what?
There's happy people in the stands. It's fun out there for the most part, except for the fighter. He looked drunk. Yeah.
So what provoked that? Was it just chirping?
I don't know. It looked like two Bills fans though, so it seemed like a drunk guy, or maybe somebody grabbed his bum. Something like that. Yo. I don't know. Maybe the wrong guy grabbed his bum. Some shit. It's 2022, yo.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, right. I thought you were someone else. Right? So no, it's a great atmosphere. It was a perfect night for football, to be honest. It wasn't like, it wasn't even sweater weather. I was in a t-shirt. It was nice, a little bit, cool, light breeze, like just a nice light breeze. It was perfect. It was nice, man. It was a good day in Buffalo.
M. Lewis, what up with you?
Oh, right, people. Shit, I forget people come here to watch us and stuff. Oh man, Chris Manny and Callie's up in here. It looks like too.
Oh yeah, okay.
Chris Manny in Canada, I think. Maybe
Chris Manny in Toronto.
Chris Manny in Toronto.
Chris and Manny in Toronto. Tomorrow is supposed to be a Manisha and Chill.
Man, I dare to say, how do I get a Sean and Chill? But I don't like people that. I don't like people that much.
Tomorrow's a Manisha and Chill at Roti Hut, so I'm gonna see if I can get over there after work. Hopefully, when I get there, they'll still be there.
There'll still be roti there.
If not roti, at least the chill.
Well, there'll definitely be a chill guaranteed for that, I guess. But yeah, man, I want to end chill. I'm gonna find something and chill, guy. Pizza and chill.
Pizza and chill. Denise Jojo, what up with you? Foxy G, what up with you?
Foxy G's in the break room. Oh yeah. What about? So did you? Oh wait, we were online yesterday. I almost forgot.
Yeah, so we were online.
When we were online for a hot second, did you understood it a little better, the madness?
Yeah, I got okay, so for instance, every time you told a story about you going and going to the game and you knew your parking spot, you parked at a man's house. The way I pictured it, right, was like you're driving down, say like around Exhibition Stadium. So was that done?
Sure.
Okay, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right? And I figure you're talking about like one of those type of houses where like only one car can park. So I'm like, okay, that's awesome that you get a parking spot. But also I'm like, what's in it for this guy to make $20 for the day? You know what I mean? Like, what is it? But then when now you show the video of you being at the place and it's not a one parking lot. The man has like an everlasting backyard.
Right?
So he made at least like a three bills.
Just like that. And then by the time I came after the game, he's just sitting in his living room, right? He's just sitting in his living room. So he's good, man. Dude, right? But that's how it is. It's just it's madness out there, yo.
Okay, I misunderstood it, but now I get it, man. That's crazy. Like,
so everybody's house is like that.
Okay, so these people love football because everybody's making money.
Yeah. See, everybody's making money. People are coming back and, hey, Jim. All right. So now I know, that's my new gym now. All right. I found a new way into Buffalo. It was a little trafficy going in. So, yeah. So now I'm going to Jim's house next time. Bobby, whatever the hell his name is, you know.
Okay. No, that was cool. And the streets were super busy. Mm-hmm. You guys, wait. So how did you end up on the field, bro?
On the field?
The picture that you took looked like you were standing on the field.
I mean, I had some decent seats. They're not like, it wasn't row one. I had to walk down a few rows, but I had some pretty good seats.
Okay, so you're close enough that you could actually walk down and be.
I was close enough that I didn't get like, you know, security'd up. When I went to go take a picture, nobody like held me down or nothing like that, I guess. Right?
That's dope. That's dope.
So it goes, I guess. But yeah, it was a blast, and you know, the Bills just laid the smack down on some folks.
Who did they play last night? Oh, you said the Titans.
The Titans. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
M. Lewis.
Really
M. Lewis. Who's your
why are you only asking M. Lewis, guy?
Because he's the only one that I see right now. And I know that yesterday when we were speaking, he said that he.
But you said hello to so many people. How come you're only asking the guy in here, yo?
Because he was the only one that communicated that he watched football yesterday.
2022, man. You're going to get us canceled for that shit, yo.
So what do you say? Inclusion? Denise Jojo and Foxy G. Can you please also let me know who are your football teams, please?
We're trying to get a follower or two, guy. You don't want to back anybody out. You know, you got to involve everybody.
Can you please also let me know who your football teams?
Is that a cheesehead? Is that what he's coming with? No, he's just laughing. Thought it was a cheesehead. Anyways.
And we got a special guest in on the show tonight. So when she Lions all the way, Detroit. Okay, I see Detroit. When she comes out, we'll ask her who her football team is. And if she doesn't have a football team, we'll kind of coax her to lie and make one up.
She can just jump on the wagon, you know? Not much room left, but whatever. Patriots, Foxy. Okay. Oh, Foxy.
M. Lewis says, the joke is, I don't watch football. So the three ladies that we see in the chat right now, we got Foxy G. She's Patriots. Denise Jojo, Lions. DH Lady, we know she's Green Bay. Okay, here comes the raid.
All right. Channel 9.
Now, what up with you? DJ Polly Lopez, what up with you? SOSE, what up with you?
Good evening,
FunFit Mom, this is the Bills Mafia.
Teddy Falcon, Bills Mafia, what up, FunFit Mom?
Yeah. Teddy Falcon, what up with you?
All right, people. Damn. Channel 9, big up. 9. I don't know if you've switched from the turntables to the keyboard yet, but big up, sir.
Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike.
Stacy 80 likes the Saints. Channel 9's here. Go Bills. See, everybody knows what's up. That's what's up.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, Channel 9 is a Bills man for sure. That's right.
Channel 9 is a smart guy, man.
Cool now. Who's your team? Cool now.
The Bears.
Who is your
Falcons,
team?
Bears down since the fridge. Big up. Giants. The New Jersey Giants, they say. Right? Cool it now? Just saying. Anyway, sorry. All right, first time yeah.
So there's a Cowboys in there. Channel 9 says Bills from time. So G-Men means Giants. Stacy says Saints.
The New Jersey Giants.
Go Packs, go. Bills Mafia.
There we go. Oh Lord! All right, tell me something. What episode is this? Guy.
This is episode 62, bruv.
Guy, when you cut hair, do people like put the shit in their hair, guy, to dye their hair? Like, do you have that stuff on the side and people ask you to put that stuff in?
No.
You're not a hairstylist, you're just a barber? I
No,
don't mean that. I don't mean that in any rude way or anything like that. To be honest,
no.
So,
I am a barber.
yeah.
I don't do the coloring.
I'm just saying. Sometimes when I'm editing a photo, guy, I think it's called sharpness. It tightens it up nice. Everything tightens up nice, but it just grays the shit out of me. Not that I'm scared of my gray or anything like that.
You get to see each individual gray.
Yeah, not that I'm scared of. As you can see, I'm not afraid of the gray, but that setting just kills me. Anywho, all right, episode. You said 62. That's a lot of fucking episodes, bro.
It is, man. It's beer chatting.
Yeah, it's a lot. And then today on the show, I believe we have a guest that is going to enlighten us on some things.
Yeah. We got Shontelle Dubois, and we're gonna bring her on, and she's gonna sit back and kick it with us, and hopefully we don't get too wild. Hopefully we don't.
Oh wait, I thought this was going to be one of those shows where I had to be like all proper and shit.
Oh yes. Okay, let's do it that way. Let's do it that way.
No, do we have? No, I don't.
Etiquetely, do it etiquetely.
I mean, I'm always with etiquette. I might not do proper well, but I got good etiquette.
Okay.
Like you can take me places, right?
Yeah, for sure. You're easy to bring around.
Yeah, I mean, I might get rowdy, but you can take me to the place.
Yeah.
I won't get us kicked out.
I will.
Exactly. Anyways, how about we there's people here, so big up to everybody who's here. Happy Tuesday once again. This is Pizza in the Break Room. We're going to bring out Miss Shontelle Dubois. I've been doing a little bit of research. Yeah. What is it? Transformation Queen.
Transformation Queen. How about that?
I haven't heard that one like specifically before. I like that. Transformation Queen. So we're going to get all up in that, people. Let me start.
All right. Everybody grab yourself a slice. Sit back, relax. There's a Pizza in the Break Room, episode 62. Sean and Jay brought it.
We here now. We here. Yeah. Pizza in the Break Room, y'all. Holla, holla, holla. Woo! Hello.
Well.
Hey guys. How are you?
All good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for asking.
Okay,
so wait, first things first. Do you have a favorite football team?
No.
Okay. Hold on. I don't even know she was backstage listening, man.
She should have been Googling a little bit, getting ready.
I tried, but I wasn't quick enough.
No? Oh, well, welcome to Pizza in the Break Room. Very happy to have you. Thank you for taking the time for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it looks like you brought some people. We got a lot of first-time chatters, so I'm thinking that some people came by to see you specifically today.
Yeah.
You got some people in the chat, so that's your
yes,
your army, as they say. Is that right?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, everybody who's a first-time chatter, thank you for joining us, and thank you, Shontelle, for coming here and bringing your army as well.
Yes, thanks for having me again.
All right. So again, we would like to introduce Shontelle as Shontelle Dubois, the 30-day transformation queen.
Yes.
If you don't know her, you can follow her on Instagram at Shontelle Dubois, and right that page right there is that page right there. Yeah. I mean, I look at your work and I look at what you do, and like I'm inspired by this what you got going on.
Yeah. Trust me, I'm flattered. It's a lot of work.
Well, yeah, for sure. I see it. So if you don't mind, we introduced you as a 30-day transformation queen, but if I was to ask you to introduce yourself to the people in the chat, how would you do so?
I say my name is Shontelle Dubois. I'm walking in my purpose. I'm living in my anointing, and I'm sharing that anointing and blessing that I found within me, and I'm just sharing that with everybody to help them live their best life and learn the importance of self-love. Yeah.
That's awesome. Is that when you say it? I can't, like, I believe it. Like, you and I mean, just for everybody in the chat, you and I are truly needing, like, we met quickly yesterday, you know, went through a couple of logistics, but I spent a lot of time today kind of going through you, and I know it's just the internet. I can't believe everything I read on the internet, but
Yeah.
as you were saying it, it was like I could see it in you that you know, you really relate to it. So, you know, I think that's cool. So what is it like, you know, I see Transformation Queen, a lot of the conversations about transformation, testimonials about transformation. So just, and I don't know how far to take it back because we usually like to start from the beginning, but when people hear that, what do you want people to identify with at first, I guess, when they see that? Because that's your page, obviously, some of those things that you're putting on there, that's by choice. So Transformation Queen being that first thing that you see, what is it that you want people to know or hear or think about?
I want people to know that the journey is rough, but you can transform if you be persistent and consistent. And if you walk through the hardships, you know, you will prevail at the end. So transformation is a journey. It's not something that happens overnight. You have to stay committed, and then, you know, God will reward you at the end of your journey if you stay fruitful. So that's basically what I want people to see when they go on my page.
Okay. For everybody in the chat, there's some of you who do know Shontelle Dubois. Some of you don't. Shontelle Dubois is again the transformation queen, but she's a fitness. What I say?
Certified personal trainer.
Certified personal trainer. She took the words right out of my mouth.
or she put them right in. One of the two, right?
Right. So when we're talking about transformation, we're talking about transformation through her certified personal training. And again, like I said, if you see what she's got going on the page, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's hard to believe for a lot of people.
Why do you say that? Why do you say that?
Because they communicate that to me. They usually, because I make people lose, like, you know, shocking weight in like 30 days or 60 days. They go from, you know, wearing a 4XL plus size, and in 2 months they're down to a large or a medium, and like their whole shape is like just like I just redo their whole shape, lose all the fat, and like a lot of people are shocked, like, how did you make that how did you make that happen so quickly? And they got a shape, whereas most people, when they lose weight, they just go straight, narrow. They don't really have a shape. They have to do that afterwards. Whereas with my program, like, they get both and very quickly. So people are like, yeah.
That's awesome. And then it also says on your page, life coach. So it sounds like there's a little bit, I mean, there's some physical in it, but there's probably more to it than just the physical stuff as well, like motivational or like mindset.
Yes, 100%. Like a lot of the weight that people carry is from emotional setbacks, stress, anxiety, trauma that's never been dealt with. So in order for me to make a successful transformation, I have to get to the root of the problem that caused it, which is usually through binge eating, which is caused by emotional eating, like trauma that they carry them and emotional distress that they have on them. They resort to food as coping mechanisms, and then that adds to weight gain. Right? Yeah.
That is pretty crazy, because you know what? Sometimes people don't look to associate their traumas that they go through with whatever issue that they're dealing with in their life.
Yes.
You know, whether it be like you said, weight, whether it be relationships. You know, sometimes there's just some trauma that's stuck that needs to be unlocked before you can get to that promised land that you're looking for.
Yeah.
So it's crazy that you said that, because I have a friend that has a clinic where they deal with like colonics and whatnot. And she even she said when she's dealing with clients, the therapy, like the colonic, like the colonic therapy is not working. And then when they get to speaking and talking about their traumas, then all of a sudden the magic
Yeah.
starts to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
So
So
when you
you just
said
have to
that
take
just a
the
while ago,
time to like know
Mhm.
the individual personally and really
Right.
understand like what's the core root of their problem and anxiety. And once they get talking about it, they feel more free and you're more able to tackle the binge eating and the emotional eating once you let that out, right?
Mhm.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Like I'm amazed by it. I'm amazed just by, like I said, some of the things that I saw and the transformation. Is it what makes it so? I mean, like I said, I feel you as you speak it. What makes it so personal to you, though? Like, is it like, did you transform? Like, what is it? What is it that got you here? I guess to make it seem like it's such almost a mission for you.
Um, I, I think my whole life has been hard. Like I've always had a struggling life and I dealt with a lot of internal issues and I don't remember anyone asking me if I was okay or if I needed help or, and I carried that all throughout my adulthood. So I was very insecure. I was very just not confident. And as a result, I never really felt like I was worth anything or I was capable of doing anything. So like in my program, I never want somebody else to feel like that. And I know as women, we tend to bottle our feelings or our emotions inside. So for me, who felt like I didn't have anyone, I don't want another woman to enter my program or a man and feel like they don't have nobody who will understand them and listen to them judge free. Like that's very important to me 10 times more than the physical transformation. So
Mm.
when you come to my program, like, we're going to talk and we're going to talk about some deep topics and we're going to learn how to deal with our trauma and deal with stuff that we've buried deep down inside so that we can break the cycle of, weight gain, especially in our family. Like you look at the aunties, look at the uncles, like, they're usually a little thicker and stuff like that. And I think like even just cultural, we sweep everything under the rug and we never, like you're not supposed to let no one know what you're going through, the hardships, like no one's supposed to see that. And we carry that on our back and like the chains are heavy, and it's like, at what
Mm.
point do we cut the chains and start living? So for me, like I'm passionate about just helping everyone cut the chains, like physically and emotionally.
Right.
Yeah.
It's important. Like some of the people who watch our show, like the 6 or 7 people that watch, they know that, over the last few years, I've been going through stuff and it is it's not until you decide to make that change as well. And, sometimes it takes a situation or somebody, right,
Yes.
to push you along in that way or to just not even force it upon you, but either just to be there or say the right thing at the right time. But it isn't really until you want to do it for yourself, no matter how many people are telling you something. So I think it
Yeah.
also it helps to have people keep pushing you to kind of get there.
Yeah.
So I think that's important. I think being strong for yourself is good too as well, and how you get there. But like you always have to be strong for yourself, but it's always good to know there's people around you or somebody supporting you and things like
Yeah.
that. So
It's hard to be strong for yourself, like a lot
Mhm.
of us play face on the outside, but when we go home, we're broken, like lonely.
Broken.
Like some people don't have no one that they can pick up the phone and call and just that actually really cares.
Yeah.
So like in my program, like I built an army. So everyone knows if you have no one in your life, you have the army. Like, and my clients, they'll break down crying in class. Once one person goes, all of us start going. Instagram doesn't show that. If
Right.
Mm-hmm.
some of my clients don't have friends, so when I'm going out, I send a broadcast. Anybody who wants to come with me. Like, you don't
You're
need nobody.
rolling.
You don't need a friend to come with you. Like, the army's rolling out tonight. So it's really inclusive and just lets everybody know like you're no longer alone and we're all going through the same thing as people. It's not embarrassing. Like there's no
Yeah.
judgment here. Like what you're going through, I'm going through it and more. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like what you said, like there's no judgment. There shouldn't be any judgment, and we're all going through something, right?
Mhm.
Like there's a saying where we all take our problems and throw them in a pile,
Yeah.
You can start looking at people's problems and take back up your problem. Like, all right, you know what, I'm good.
It's not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, you're gonna be like, I'm good here, and just carry on with yourself, kind of.
Yeah,
I said that to somebody the other day. I was talking to a friend of mine, and I had messaged him to be like, yo, call me, this is what's going on. And then he messaged me back, and then we ended up on the phone, and he started talking first, and he was like, so what's up with you? And I was like, you know what? Nothing. You know, I was like the story, the two things that he just told me had such gravity and weight in life overall, right? Like there were, you know, there's some real family stuff happening. There was some real things happening. And my issue was just like, I just called him to like just frap and complain about some bullshit, like some first world problems, right? And it put it in perspective. Sometimes you also never know what people are going through or that weight that, because I thought it was a bad day for me, right? Yeah. I was like, oh, I'm having a bad day. And then right after that, I was like, I had to flip it. Like, you know what? I'm like, I'm good here. I'm good here. So
but you see, like
that's part of the community too. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. In that situation though, like you still need an outlet. So although you recognize that your day is as bad as your friend, so therefore you kind of suppressed how you were feeling, comparing it to his his trauma or whatever he's going through. But like his trauma is his trauma, your trauma is your trauma. So your trauma is still important. If your bad day is like because you stubbed your toe, like it's just as important as somebody who like lost their job. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I hear that. And you know, for me, it was more of giving myself perspective a little bit too, right? I don't think I took away anything from it. Like, you know, oh, I don't.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't have time for my stuff, but it was still it still helped me to recognize that, and then kind of be like, you know what? Like the conversation ended up being my therapy in general, right? Just having that talk. Maybe I just needed somebody to talk to.
Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, but it is interesting because it's always important. And I posted something the other, I'm not going to talk too much in here about things that I post, but
I was about to say, not that again.
No, not that again. But there is something to just the energy and making sure that you protect your own as well, right?
Yes.
No matter what, you have to honor yours as well. And I think that's very important too, regardless of, like you said, because I'm a big proponent of not comparing stuff. You know, comparing things, it ruins your happiness, I think, right? A little bit. So yeah, I try not to do that too much, but I digress. Chico Singh, hello. Claudes, hello. There's people here. Big up to what are your guys called? The army, the Dubois Army. Dubois Army is representing, that's for sure. I don't know if you guys got like a hashtag or something like Dubois Army in the house.
Ms. Ron, see what up with you.
Put that Steelers stuff down. Sorry.
Priscilla in the 6, what up with you?
Good evening, Priscilla. Good evening. Oh,
how do we say this? I shaped an apple.
What happened? What'd you do? That?
I'm looking at this name right here.
Where's this?
Aisha.
Hi,
Aisha. Yo. Okay. I quit school too early.
Yeah.
Boy.
I shape an apple.
I shape an apple. Hi, Aisha.
Aisha.
No, she must have heard that too many times. Jeez. Wow. Oh.
Brown Tank 80, what up with you? Long time.
It's Tuesday. It must be Tuesday for sure. Oh man.
So
is there Shontelle, like a story that kind of stands out to you, like somebody that's just either gone through it with you, and obviously we don't need names or anything, but there's just something that really like, man, I did that, or I was a part of that that person's journey, or anything that just, when I say that, pops into your head?
Yeah, there's so many. Like, it's hard to choose one. Like, we've had all type of walks and like people overcoming stuff, but one that I could say that has resonated with Instagram well, that I get a lot of questions about, is I had somebody who has diabetes, and she had it since she was 8 years old. And she has type 1. So from she was 8 years old, she has to inject insulin into herself, like 10 times a day, up to 10 times a day. So every single meal she eats, she has to take insulin. And this is from when she was 8 years old. And when she joined my program, she was still on that regimen of taking her insulin shots with every single meal. She had to know exactly the sugar content and all that stuff, just to know what dosage of insulin to do with every meal. And so after joining my program, like, not only did she physically transform, but she went down to taking 1 insulin a day. But for her whole entire life, since 8 years old, she's been taking 8 to 10 shots every single day. So now she was only taking 1 shot. So her doctors like still don't understand like what happened. You know, they call me and they ask me like, what's my philosophy and how I do things. But yeah, like, that's one story that really, like, Instagram really went crazy for, and I interviewed her live, so people got to see her and hear from her own testimony how that happened. And what, like, type 1 diabetes, like, she had passed before. You don't take the right insulin, like, you know. So she went into cardiac arrest, and they had to revive her back to life. So just to show how important it is, when you're type 1 diabetic, your insulin dose is very important. So from 8 years old, literally till right now, 8 to 10 every single day, juking yourself with insulin. And now she's only taking 1 for the whole day. So that's one that like really stuck close to my heart as well.
That would make the whole thing worth it. Like, everything that you've ever done, like, right, even in that alone, that story alone, just seems like it would just make everything that you do worth it.
Yeah. Thanks, who is that?
Donica 13.
Oh, it came off quickly.
Donica 13.
Yes,
I read that one. I read that one right.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
It's like Don.
Dunica.
Oh man. So what is it that keeps you motivated, I guess? Because it must be, I'd say, and I'm guessing, right? Sometimes there's people coming in tough situations. So that means there's, that energy that maybe you have to, not have to, but absorb a little bit. You're around it. So what motivates you to keep it moving or keep going?
To be honest, I never want to be in that position that I was, that led me to the point of doing this business. I have like, I guess maybe like a subconscious fear of ever like going back to square one. So because I know I never want to go back there, I'm always staying on top of the game and staying involved. And then also, like, I understand the calling on my life. Like, I found my purpose. And at first, when I found it, like, I didn't really understand it. I had to seek advice from pastors and like to really understand what was happening. And now that I'm like well seasoned into it and I understand it, like, I'm motivated by the blessing that I got. And I just feel responsible. Like, I feel like these people are being brought to me, and it's my duty, having this anointing, that I have to execute, So I just stay true to it, and I just keep going, basically.
I want to ask you this. I know that you just mentioned about, you just want to stay on top of your game so that you don't ever go back to square one from where you came from, right? Before you started this business. You have a very, very inspiring and wonderful metamorphosis story.
Yeah.
I know your army probably knows it, but I would love if you would be able to share it with
yeah, sure.
our family here in Pizza in the Break Room.
Okay, so it really started, like I said, growing up, I was always insecure. And I dealt with like a lot of trauma as a child. But I just suppressed it. So eventually, like in my adult life, I got in a car accident. It was 8 cars, and I was rushed to the hospital. And from there, I had to do 3 years of rehab. I had severe back problems and leg problems. So in the process of doing my rehab, I had to take pills for depression, pills for binge eating, and then painkillers for the pain that I was in. So I had to eat food with all the pills. And so it's like you take 6 to 8 pills every day, you have to eat food with it. So I developed like an out of control binge eating problem. So I would eat so much, like a whole thing of pizza. Like my daughter would wake up, all of her snacks are done. There's nothing to send her to school with. The whole loaf of bread is done. Like it was very severe. And like even to this day, when I watch like 500 Pound, you know that reality show, 500 Pound and Counting, or like 1,000 Ton Sisters, like those type of shows, like I'm glued to the TV because I was going that route. Like I just don't look like them. And I was able to stop it before I got there, but I literally embodied everything they say. I'm like, that's exactly what I was doing. That's exactly what I was thinking. So I was like literally eating myself out of control. And I basically said enough is enough. And I started working with a trainer, and I was losing weight, but the nutrition aspect I didn't have. So I started studying nutrition on my own, and I figured out like key components that you need to nourish the body in order to receive a certain type of transformations. I started studying like what foods are good for weight loss, what's good for weight gain, what does it mean, blah, 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 blah. So in the process of that, I ended up transforming, and I lost a substantial amount of weight. And when I did, I opened up an Instagram page, and I was inspired to reach out to people who have been in an accident before and gone through trauma post-accident. And people kept asking me about my transformation at that time. So I was like, I'm not trying to like talk about my fitness journey, like contact my trainer if you want it. That like I just want to be on here to inspire people, but people weren't really responding to that. So I kind of like just left the page and didn't do nothing. And then like shortly after that, I got fired from my job. And when I was fired from my job, I was like 3.5 months behind in my rent. So my daughter and I were coming home, and all the elevators weren't working. So we had to take the stairwells. And when we took the, oh, sorry, I forgot to tell you, I was evicted from my apartment. So there's an eviction notice on my door because I fell behind in my rent and I lost my job. So one day I was coming home, and the elevators weren't working. So my daughter and I, we had to take the stairwells. And when I stopped, I just saw like, I saw hope. And I basically told myself, like, I wonder if I could train people in the stairwells, since all those people were asking me on my page, like how I lost the weight and all that stuff. So I sat there and I was asking myself, is it possible? But there's like blood over there. There's like beer cans. There's like condom wrappers. At the bottom, there's mice, like, you know, and it's at Jane and Finch. So basically the next day I woke up, I went to the dollar store and I cleaned out the stairwells, and I just sat there seeing like if this is possible. And then the next day I went to the library with my daughter. I made flyers, and I was telling the neighborhood, like, I have my own gym at this building, come meet me and I can train you. Long story short, nobody showed up. So it was like almost 4 months when my first client showed up. But for the time that no one was showing up, I still showed up every day. Like I still cleaned the stairwell every day. I still sat there and waited for people. Like my daughter's sitting next to me, like she wants to go upstairs. She wants to like play. And I'm like, no, you have to sit here and wait with me. Like, you know, I'd be holding back tears, like eyes blood red. And my daughter's just, you know, I try to play with her to take her mind off of it, but like nobody was showing up. But my mindset was like, I handed out all these flyers with her. Like, what if somebody shows and I'm not here? So literally 6 a.m., 6 p.m., I showed up every day for a little over 3 months before the first person showed up. And I ended up staying in the stairwells for 2 years. And I used that. I stayed in the stairwells for 2 years, and I used that money. I was saving like crazy, and I opened my own gym. And now I'm a sold out trainer. I have a waiting list of 2 years wait list. So if you want to train me, you have to wait. The rest is like history, you know.
That's dope.
Sometimes during our interviews, the people that we talk to, we get some like key messages, like you know, like message right here. Brown Ting 80, like she just, you know,
I kept showing up. Thing, like most people won't, like, it's so embarrassing, you know, especially in the Black community, like pride, you know, people seeing you in the stairwell, it's dirty, like, you know, I'm just telling you guys like a brief description, but it was actually horrific, like, you know, and I had to play face for my daughter, and like, again, the elevators weren't working, so everyone in the building had to take the stairwells. So they would see me sitting there, or they'd see me cleaning and walk past me or walk over me, wondering like, you know, they would leave to work that way, and they'd come home from work, I'm still sitting there with nobody, you know, and they'd be like, oh, no one showed up today? You should go get a real job, you know. And then online, they were like, other trainers were making fun of me, like, and I've posted many like DMs I got where they're like, you know, that's not clean. Like, how are you promoting cleanliness and you have them on the floor, and like, who trains at Jane and Finch, or like, you know, a waste idiot thing. Like, you know, they were just always like sending me, like literally destroying me, but I still showed up. Right. And that was the hardest part, was like showing up, not knowing like what's going to come of this. Like, and for like almost 4 months, that's a long time, you know? Yes, trust the process. You're right. I trusted the process. And then like once the first 2 clients, Annie and Colleen, who are still clients today, once they showed up, I gave them a like incredible transformation. And then people started like, oh, okay. Like, you know, then slowly like
stairs,
yeah, I started going, and then like we're here now.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Some claps in the chat. Some claps in the chat.
That is wild.
Some claps in the chat.
And you said your first client is still with you right now?
Yeah. So one is, I actually made her my assistant, Annie.
Yeah.
And Colleen is still my client. She's actually, I asked her to be in my wedding. And if it wasn't for Colleen and Annie, who I made that first transformation, I literally, I don't know if I'd be here. They gave me a chance, and like when they trained with me in the stairwells, they paid me, you know, and I was charging not that much back then, but you know, the fact that they were willing to pay me, even though I was in the stairwell, like they gave me that chance, you know.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Thank you.
Super amazing, super inspirational. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, with our family inside here.
No problem.
Is that what these people are family, yo? Our family? Like the Pizza in the Break Room folks? Do they have like a thing? Yeah? Did anybody make a thing for them?
What's the thing you're talking about?
I don't know, like, you know, the people in the break room.
Okay. I thought you were talking about,
you know, like a Dubois Army, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that
no, I thought you were saying, did we make a thing like a spare key or something like that? Like,
spare key?
Yeah, I was like, can you make them a spare key?
Oh, so as you were. Oh, forget this guy. Don't worry about him. So as you were talking a couple times, even earlier, you talked about your faith and mentioning that there's some, like, has that always been in you, the faith, or no, that's new-ish?
Yeah, so I didn't grow up like in the church, and like, of course I went here and there, but I never went like religiously, and like we didn't pray together as a family or read the Bible. I never ever grew up saying like God bless you or anointing or this and that. Like it's literally like in the stairwells. Like I think when I opened this gym that I'm in now, that's when I realized, like, I kind of always felt stuff, But it was when I opened that gym, I realized like, whoa, this is like a real calling. And like I went to 2 different pastors, and when I was talking to them, like I tell them like things I'm feeling or things that's happening, and they were able to finish my sentences for me, and they were just helping to educate me on what's transpiring. And basically, they're like, you're just living in your calling, like you're literally living in your purpose. You found it. Like this is the reason why God put you on earth, is so that you can help the people. And sometimes the Holy Spirit may go in you and use you as a vessel to help His people. So it was a little scary at first, like just hearing these type of words. Like I wasn't familiar with it, and I was a little like shy and embarrassed, and like I felt like, oh, I don't want to be too boasty with it, or like I just felt like, I don't know, it's weird because when somebody's doing good, like for some reason we don't celebrate where we're doing good. Like we're worried about like being judged for being good. Like, I went through that stage, so I would be quiet and like not talk about it. And the influence became so strong on me that like I couldn't deny the power of God anymore. Like it just comes out my mouth. Like I don't even think to say it, and I never spoke like this in my life. So it's just something that I like slap me on the head, like wake up, like, like this is what it is. So I just went with it. I submitted. That's what I did. I submitted to the will of God and accepted my purpose, and I used that anointing to help other people on their journeys, basically.
Awesome. When I came to your event that you had, I guess it was before the pandemic, wasn't it? But you had an event, and then you showcased, like you had had your people like come out like models, and you showcased their before and after. And it was a mad thing, man.
Yeah,
it was a mad thing just to see like the people and the transformations. And I mean, I went there for the party. I went there to support you, but then now to see this on the big screen, and I was like, that's who that is? Like, that's crazy.
I know. You would never think, like a lot of my clients, when new clients come and they see some clients, they think they've always been that size, or like, are you here to lose like just 10 pounds, without realizing like, no, she lost 120. Like she's toning now. They're like, what? Like, or sometimes they walk, or they like walk in and see somebody they saw on Instagram and they're like shocked. But a lot of people like break down crying, just like overwhelmed. Like, I'm actually here. I actually see it. And they sit on the wait list and they're waiting for 1 to 2 years, each of them. And they're not dropping their name. Like when my team reaches out to them, we're like, we have a spot for you. Like we get messages back immediately. If you don't respond back within like 5 minutes, your spot's gone. Somebody else book it. Yeah, so it's crazy. Like to go from begging people to train with me, months without clients, and like over 3,000 names on the waiting list, and that's no boost or cap. Like it could only be God. Like, so when people are always asking me the secret or what it is or how, like I say God all the time, but I don't know, they think it's cliche because a lot of people use the Lord's name in vain, or I don't know, but like that's the only way to explain it.
Sorry, 1 sec. You said 3,000 people on. That's like trying to get a haircut by Couture. Still, you ever try to get a haircut by Couture? You guys, I don't know, man. I gotta start something, and maybe I can get people on some sort of waiting list. But you guys got some long waiting lists. That's wicked, man. That's wild, amazing. Yo.
No, well, God blessed you. He gave you the life raft, and you took it. Because he sends us the life raft, and sometimes we don't want that raft. We want actually a nicer boat.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And you kept showing up, and I think that's the key for tonight, man. Is the fact that you like everybody, like there's something that you want. There's something that you want, and there's something that you want to achieve, and it's that message is speaking to me, man. Keep showing up.
Yeah, like one thing I always tell people when I'm asked about, how did I keep showing up in the stairwells? It's like I always tell people, if you're consistent long enough, you're gonna get a big break. Like as long as your heart's in the right place and you're passionate about what you're doing, you can't do something every day really well and it never work. It's going to work, but it's just a matter of when. And sometimes, like, what I learned through my calling is like, God's not going to bless you right away. Like, God's going to make sure that you're able to receive the blessing that's coming your way. You're not going to ruin it or be boastful, or, you know what I mean? So sometimes you'll be put through tests and trials, and, you know, it's just to see if can you withstand. Because I'm not going to give you all these blessings and all these riches and all these this and that and whatever success, and you can't even manage this little thing right here. Like, I want to make sure that you're going to submit, you're going to be true to your craft. So like, no matter, and people laughed at me like ridiculously, like, you know, trainers like that I looked up to were making posts about me and talking and like smashing me in the DMs, all while no one's showing up, all while I'm cleaning blood from the walls. I'm picking up like, you know, beer cans, condoms every single day. And I still showed up. No clients came and I still showed up. No clients came and I still showed up. And
keep showing up in the chat, y'all. Keep showing up in the chat. Type that in the chat. Keep showing up.
Keep showing up. And like, my daughter was there and I just felt like such a failure. I felt like, you know, you know, I just felt like that little girl that just felt like she was nothing, you know, and it just all came back. But at the end of the day, like I said, like, I realized you can't keep doing something that you know you're good at or that's worth it and it not like take off. It's just a matter of when. And like, I'll leave something with you too. Like, there's a scripture in the Bible. It says, like, God will walk you through the fire. I always tell people this, but when you're walking through the fire, it doesn't explain like you're going to be hot, you're going to fall, you're going to get burned, you're going to, like, you know, be dehydrated, you're going to drop to your knees. But God said he'll walk you through the fire though. Yeah. So you're not supposed to stop when it gets hot and you just run out. You know, you don't test it and like, oh, it's too hot, and you backpedal. Like, no, go through the fire. God's right there with you. He's going to walk you through the fire. And if you submit and stay obedient, he's right there at the end with your blessing right there. It's just, you don't know when it's going to happen. Like, you don't know how long that walk is. But like, anyone that's listening in the chat, you guys as well, like Sean and Fitz, like, whatever it is your heart desires, if you know that this is your calling, or like you're really good at this thing and you just don't know how to make it work, like, just keep showing up every day. Even if the audience isn't there or like people aren't there, don't expect friends and family to support. It's not happening. Like, you just keep showing up for you, and I promise you, your blessing's right there. And if you quit one day too early, your blessing could have been tomorrow. You quit one day too early, you know. So that's why, like, you can't quit. Like, I never quit. I kept going, you know.
Yeah. No, thank you for that. Thank you for that. That's the type of energy that we need to kind of support each other. Like, even this it's when we see each other struggling a little bit, and we know that somebody might not be showing up, that there's accountability partners may help us to show up when we think that we may not show up. Brownting 80 has a question. She asked, where's that point you thought you thought of giving up?
Many times. I remember one time, I was in the stairwells, probably like 1, 2 in, and like, just every day Naya's there, like, sad, like, no one's showing up. We're just sitting in the stairwell, and I'm like, okay, let's go up early. And we went up, and I went in the shower, and I just broke down crying. I dropped to my knees, like, water was like beating on me, and I cried a roaring cry. Like, I never cried like that before. I was just like, just a real cry, like, you know. And I said, I can't do this no more. I can't do it. Like, it was really bad. And like, I'll never forget that day. And then I went to sleep, and in the morning I cleaned the stairwell. He sat there waiting. So like there's definitely many times of like just, you know, like just so much. But like, you know, I try my best not to dwell on the negative into those emotions. And I try to just like, well, what if it works? Like, what if tomorrow? And when tomorrow doesn't work, what if tomorrow? And tomorrow doesn't work, but what if tomorrow? Like, you know, you just, you have to keep going. But again, like if you know in your heart that I'm great at this, like this is me. Like, you know, you look around, you see what other people are doing, you see what you're doing, you're like, no, like this is brilliant. And we all know like brilliance within us. If you know that, you don't stop. Like you just keep going. It doesn't matter like if you have money, if you don't have money. Like I didn't have money, I was in a stairwell at Jane and Finch. That was my diamond in the rough. You know, some people want like a big studio with like already furnished, that already has a name or it already has this and that. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes you got to look at like something like a stairwell that can only hold like 3-4 people. That's your diamond in the rough. That's your gym. And then, you know, if I went to like, let's say a known gym, I may not be where I am today.
Absolutely, I hear you. Yeah, for sure.
You know?
For sure. I'm gonna ask you quickly. Your volume, your voice is starting to act weird
a little bit.
So I'm gonna ask you.
It's at full. Maybe if I go closer.
No. So what I'm gonna ask you, maybe if you don't mind, logging, like coming out, and then try and tap back in and see if that changes your volume.
Okay.
All right. Yes, keep showing up. Everybody,
this is wild.
Crazy. This is crazy.
Wild. Because you never, I mean, you really, really, really never know for real, right? You never know. Like, cause she was even talking about her rock bottom, right? A little bit. Or I won't, sorry, she didn't specifically say rock bottom, but the roar in the bathtub, right? How could she know at that time that this was gonna happen, right? How could she possibly know during that moment that this is what was gonna happen? And that would kind of drive you. Hello, hi.
Hey, is this okay?
Oh, it's the same. It's the same, but it's all good.
Really, it's low, eh?
Oh no.
No, it's
perfect now.
No, you're good now.
Okay.
I told you. Don't listen to him.
You kept showing up.
Yeah. Well, that's what we were quickly just talking about, like that story you were telling about, you know, your roaring cry in the shower. Like, how could you possibly know at that time, right? That, and I presume, like, you know, that was kind of a rock bottom moment, but I didn't want to presume that. Yes, but how could you presume at that time that this is where you'd be today, right? Like, looking back at that moment. No idea. You kept showing up, right? That's all. Next, like you said, next day you were in the staircase.
There's always been a feeling inside me that I can't explain, which the pastors tell me it's the Holy Spirit, but there's just always been a feeling inside me like I have to do it, like, and it's so strong, right? Like it's just I can't explain it, like a feeling, or like it's not words, it's just something like puts me there, you know, like I just, even if I want to lay in bed, like I get up, take the covers off, get ready and go in the stairwells. Like there's just something like literally like forcing me in there. Like I felt it. So I would just listen to it instead of like fighting against it, you know? And at that time, I knew nothing about God or like other than, you know, what we know, like I wasn't spiritual at all. So, but I just knew there was like a burning and desire, like just keep going, you know? And it just, I don't know, it worked. And then like when I was in the stairwells, like, first of all, I think I got fired from my job because God was like, you're not doing what I set for you to do. So, you know, and then the fact that the elevators weren't working, you know, there's people in chat from my building, like the elevators weren't working for like 9 months at all, none of them. So we had to take the stairwells. If the elevators were working, I would have never went in the stairwells.
Right.
Because I was asked that way. I was forced in the stairwells, right? And then even when I was in the stairwells, somebody lied, like, and like when the business started going, somebody lied and said they tripped over my weights. and the super came, we were all in the stairwell and he kicked me out. And he was yelling at me, belligerent, get out of here. What are you doing? Like that. And they installed cameras. They installed cameras where I was because of that. So it's like God was also trying to level me up. Like, because for me, I was going to be in the stairwells for life. I was like, oh, this is amazing. Like, I'm in the stairwell. My house is right upstairs. Like, you know, there's heat here. There's AC. Like, you know, I'm like, I'm good. Like, I was
always looking at the positive part of it.
Like,
that is crazy.
No one's to bother me. No one's around. Like, but like God had bigger plans. Like, and a few people tell me like you should get a gym, and I was like, you know, growing up, no one told me about entrepreneurship. Like, no one said like you could be an entrepreneur. This is how it's done. What's required. Like, no one taught me those little things. So like when people in the when I was in steroids, people would be like, you need to get a gym, and I'd be like, that scared me, you know, because I felt like, no, I need to work for someone. I want to work for like this gym or that corporation, maybe be their manager, you know. So it was like, you know, when the person lied that they tripped over my equipment, I feel like God set that up to force me out of steroids and buy my gym.
That's
you know,
crazy.
Yeah. So
I just want to say real quick, I missed it a little bit earlier. I'm gonna butcher this, so I'm gonna go Roro, wow, worry. Oh no, that's wrong. But
I did mine better.
Like, thank you for the 5 Ps. Thank you for the gifted subs to the people. That happened.
Thank you,
Roro.
Ago,
but we
appreciate you.
Didn't want to
Hi, Roro.
Big up, Roro. Wait, Rahel.
Oh, Rahel, yes, that's my client.
It seems like it. Well, thank you. Big up.
Thank you, Roro. Rahel.
Somebody asked, but I wanted to ask as well. So you're openly telling us your daughter was right there with you in this. And, you know, as a parent myself, I know sometimes you do what you do, and you know, your kids are right there with you sometimes, whether you want them to be or not want them to be, or however that works out. So what do you think? Like, what do you think she thinks now when she sees mommy and knows that? And I don't even know exactly how old your daughter is or anything like that.
Yeah,
but
she's 15 now.
All right, so she probably has a little bit of perspective, right? Yeah. What do you think? What do you think about that?
She's like my biggest fan. She thinks like I'm Superwoman.
You are, for the record, from whatever you told me today. But just for the record, I don't mean to interrupt. I don't like. Sorry, go on with it. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, thank you. Like, for example, at school, they gave the class an assignment, and they said, come to school dressed as your favorite celebrity, right? So she came home and she's like, oh, Mom, we have to dress as our favorite celebrity and talk about the celebrity and why they're our favorite. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I didn't even ask her who she's going to dress up. I was so tired. So when I woke up in the morning, she had on all my like Shontelle Dubois gear and stuff like that. So I'm like, Naya, what are you going to dress up for the celebrity? Like, it didn't even click. And she's like, I'm you, Mom. And I'm like, she's like, what? I posted that too. Like, I was like, oh my God. It didn't even click. And then, like, she went to school and she had to present it and do all that. And she came home and showed me the project. And I was like, I can't believe it. And she's standing up in front of the class telling them about Shontelle Dubois. Like, and they don't know who that is. And she just proudly, she's like, that's my celebrity. Like, you know? Yeah. So,
Fire in the chat. Fire in the chat.
Yeah,
Fire
very
in the chat.
Moment for sure. Yeah, I was
in the chat.
Scattered. But like, even if you talk to her, like, she understands like hustle. She understands like what it means to be successful. Like, what does that look like? Like, she walked the whole entire journey with me, and I never left her out of anything. Like, and I encourage parents in the chat, like, don't leave your kids behind. Like, you know, I educated her on stuff. Like, I spoke to her about stuff. Like, even now, like, I've started talking to her about mortgages. What does it mean to have a credit card? Like, you know, I tell her about being her own boss. I let her know what that looks like. I let her do my bookkeeping so she could see numbers. Like, what does it mean to make a boss. Like, what can you make versus working a 9 to 5? And like, I'm very real with her. So I know that she appreciates that, and it allows her to be a step ahead as well. Because in schools, they're not going to teach you that.
Super awesome.
Yeah.
Super awesome. Super awesome. Your daughter's superhero.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy.
That's wild.
But I can tell you today something I want to share with you guys. So I have a new client that travels from Kitchener. She's in the program right now. And I have another client that travels from Waterloo. And then I have another client that travels from Hamilton, training 3 days a week. I found that. So today I had like a really like honorable moment. And I didn't share it with my class, but I felt it because they were all there, and I introduced them to the rest of the class. And like they were saying where they travel from, like to know that somebody's traveling from Waterloo. Every class that you see, and she goes back home to Waterloo. It's not like she's, or like traveling from Kitchener, and you come for your 1 hour workout with me, and you go back to Kitchener every time. Like, so I just really had like a really thankful moment today. Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
I drive 2 hours to go get a haircut from this guy sometimes. So
he's amazing. So I don't.
But I do that for a reason. The times that I do it as well, right? So just like you're saying, the gravity of that as well, right? Like I'm in Hamilton to go see him.
Oh,
that's
wow!
Right? That's a trip.
Wow.
But I wouldn't do it just for anybody. So the reason that they're coming to do that, it shows that, what you do is something special to them. Right?
It's wow, that's amazing.
Well, because you know what? When people throw up certified personal trainer, right? You know what? Right? You know what? But you know what I mean? Like to certain people like that, if I typed that into Google, right, there's going to be a lot of certified personal trainers that come up. So there's something that makes you stand out. If you have a waiting list of if you had a waiting list of 100, you know what I'm saying? Like I'd be like, yo, you got a waiting list of 100, like those types of things. Like, and I joke with him about it all the time. But if I really wanted to, if I really had to book a haircut, like I'd have to book a haircut like 2 months from now for real. Right. Yeah. Right. Every now and then I'll be like, yo, let's I'm coming by your house. Like line me up right quick. You know what I mean? But that means something, and that doesn't come easy, and it comes from passion too, right? Because like I said, as you're talking it, for the people that haven't met you before, there's a billion people in here. Today, there's a billion people in here because you're here, right? That have never met you before, and I think they're catching they understand why you're good at what you do, and it's the way that you speak to it. Just like he's passionate about his shit.
Yeah.
Right? So.
Yeah, she has a problem though. I do have to let you know, guys who don't know her. She has a problem. Her problem is almost sadistic. She want to make sure you're mash up. She wants to make sure that you're mash up.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to walk out of my gym and just say bye.
Right.
So, every once in a while, you guys will hear me talk about that I did a 60-day, 60 people initiative that I created for myself. It was an initiative where it was to get me to start working out again. I hadn't worked out for like maybe 2 years, and I said, you know what, I need to work out so I created an initiative where I was gonna work out for 60 days in a row, and it had to be with 60 different people. Right. And it wouldn't count if I didn't work out with somebody new. Right. So it was a lesson in, being consistent as well as connectivity with people. That was kind of the initiative. Anyways, my very, very, very last day, I reached out to Shontelle. I said, because that's what I do. Because like sometimes I don't know who I'm gonna work out with. I'd like walk to the gym and just approach somebody and say, "Hey, this is what I'm doing. This is my initiative. I need someone to work out with for this to work." And they're like, "Okay, yeah, come work out with me."
Yeah.
So I called Shontelle and she said, "Yeah, okay, meet me at the gym at 5 a.m. And I'm like, "What?" That's my last day too, right? So then I'm like, all right, cool. So then now
charging my
she starts putting me through this workout.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, this workout's crazy. And then she says, all right, get ready for the workout. I'm like,
that was the warm-up.
I was like, I was ready to go.
Wait a second. So Shontelle, let me just tell you something, right? I was one of these 60 people, right? Like, and my day was like, okay, let's stretch. Let's see how close we can get to touching our toes. Okay. All right. Let's lie down. You need a, right? Let's put a pillow. Hang on. Wait. You just want me to put my head on the mat like that, bro? Okay, let's put a pillow. Okay, and 1. And
it was an easy day.
And 2. Right, that was my day. So whatever I knew as he was telling this story, I was like, shit, this ain't even gonna come close to my day, because that's what was up on my day. It was like 5 pounds. Let's
no, I put him to work.
It was madness. Like the warm up was a thing. So when you see her Instagram post about this mashup and people throwing up, like
he was done.
I stopped short of throwing up. Like I didn't throw up, but I was like, when I see the post, I'm like, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand it. So, and when I see people going through the transformations and miraculous things happening, I understand, because I got a taste, and all I did was get a taste.
You know, I'm happy you said that, because like my clients and we always talk about it. If you're not in my program or never done it or never experienced me as a trainer, you'll never understand like what's the big deal. So there are some people on the outside that will ask my clients like, what's the big deal with this thing? Like, why don't you just go to like such and such a gym? It's only like $50 a month, or like, you know, but like, even if I try to explain it, even as you explain it, Fitz, like people will never truly understand it until they walk in the gym and they do a session. Then after a session, you're like, I get it. So like, because you said you did 60 different people. So my question to you is like, of course, without mentioning anyone else, like, did you feel a difference with what you experienced with me? Like, did it stand out to you? The experience?
Yes. Okay. So really what happened now is I worked out with 60 different people, right? Mm-hmm. You worked me out.
Oh, okay.
Right? And
yeah. I get it.
I wanted to say, I did this 60 days in a row. What are you doing? Relax, man.
Yeah, because this is the last day too, you're saying, right?
Yeah.
This is like
at 5 a.m.
At 5 a.m.
At 5 a.m. Yeah.
It's the only time I had in the schedule.
Yeah.
That's I mean, good for you, I guess.
All right, go do the dips now. I'm like, what are you talking about? I heard a closer grip. I'm like,
exactly what happened.
Man.
Well, you should have been ready for that, I guess. On day 60, you should have been ready, I guess. You should have been warmed up and good to go, stretched a couple of times, all that shit.
It was like, okay, so for instance, that couldn't have been day 6.
Right.
Like you would have been done.
I would have thrown up for sure.
Yeah.
That couldn't have been day 6. Like it really worked out in the cards that was day 60. That was my last day. So I've been through some stuff now. You know what I mean? Like I've been working out now, right?
So you withstand it.
So I could deal with it at least, you know. Whereas
Yeah.
if that was like day 5, I'd be on Instagram. I know you posted me on Instagram, but I wasn't throwing up.
Yeah.
But I know you posted me laying down on the ground, like
I did. He couldn't get up off the ground.
Yep.
This is all scary to me now. I'm scared.
I push everyone to their maximum potential without like causing too much of like a burnout. But like we're not gonna do stuff in your comfort zone. Like we're gonna put in some work, and I'm gonna force you to do some things that you're not used to doing, you know? So that's basically my philosophy. Yeah, so when you come in, like I'm not gonna go nice. And I let people know that before they join, so they can make the decision if they're ready for like a no BS basically trainer, then okay, carry on. But in case you're not ready for this type of intensity, like, you know, I let them know before they pay their money.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, for sure. I make sure they're aware.
So, like you said, at 5 a.m. was kind of the only time you have for me, which means that you're a super busy woman, and like I see the success of what you've created, which is fantastic. Question: how do you handle the balance, work-life balance?
Yeah, it's hard, but like I don't idle. I think that's how I get through it. So like I'm never scrolling on Instagram or checking stories or searching, I don't know, you know, anything. Like I'm working. So I utilize like every minute, every second I have on my business, on, you know, my kids, my family life, and the last little bit, unfortunately, I put on me. So I do put myself a little bit behind, but I don't completely neglect myself. I have a fiance who won't allow me to, like, he's so amazing, but he won't allow me. He'll be like, sit down. He'll cook me dinner. He'll take me places. He forces me to take vacation. Like, tell your staff that you're gonna be off from this 10 days. We're going away. Like, so he reminds me like to make sure I put time for myself. But more importantly, like I just don't spend time idling like most people do. And I think that's the reason why I'm able to do what I'm doing.
Good answer. That's super awesome.
Yeah.
So keep showing up and don't idle.
Yeah, actually, that's very good.
Keep showing up and don't idle.
In summary,
you're absolutely right. Don't quit.
So within your answer now, you brought me back to last week. All right. My dear friend, T.Hotshot, he shared a post. The post created a little bit of controversy. Okay. Right? Now, we're not going to get into everything about the post, but just because what you were saying just now kind of brings me back to the conversation. So the post said, right? And it's not his post. He reposted somebody's post, which said, some women don't realize that if they want to be a wife, they have to do wife shit. Right? And then within our conversation in the chat, so this is not his thoughts. This is just him sharing.
I understand, yeah.
Right? Create conversation. Within the chat, some people were saying, so does that mean that for a man to be a husband, he has to do husband shit? So as you were explaining what, you know, your partner, your fiance, you're just talking and all I'm hearing is husband shit.
Yeah. Shit. So I can tap into that.
Big up.
Like, so for me, I'm a powerhouse, which I know. And my everyday life, I'm a boss. Like I'm always dictating to my clients and like overseeing on them, right? But when I come home to my fiance, I don't present myself as the boss. I'm the wife, right? So I never overpower him with like all my authority and all my success and all my, like, when I come home, like I drop that. And like between the two of us, when it comes time to make a decision, like I let him lead. So I don't overpower his judgment or, you know, because I'm like Shontelle Dubois, like, you know what I'm trying to say? And I'm very delicate with him. I'm very sensitive. I listen, like if he wants something done or I know he likes something done a certain way, I do it that way. And like, I don't yell at him. I never cuss at him ever. I don't call him out of his name. I don't disrespect him. And in return, he does the exact same thing. Like when I come home from work, like my dinner's already done at the table waiting for me. My bath water is already waiting for me. My son's back in bed, like being put to sleep. You know, like on weekends, he always wakes up, cooks, cleans the whole entire house. He'll surprise me with things out of the blue. So it's like I submit to him, but he submits to me as well. So it goes hand in hand. You can't really have one without the other.
Partnership.
You know? Yeah. And like
I don't about to look
God, like yeah, like sorry, like we always talk about God too. Like I feel like God brought him to me because it's like just the way that we met and like how everything transpired with us so quickly. Like I really feel like God brought this man to me, and it's like as long as we put God in our relationship and honor those like, you know, godly things that you're not supposed to do, like your relationship should be strong. So like you guys should never swear at each other. If I have a problem, like he sits down, he's like, okay, explain your problem to me. And I'm like, let's say it's like, oh, you leave the toilet seat up. And he'll be like, okay, like what happens when I leave the toilet seat up? So now he's trying to understand like the root of the problem. Like, well, I fall in and the water touches me, you know, and then he'll be like, oh, sorry, I didn't realize that. And then he'll stop doing it immediately. So just like the communication is important as well, you know? Me and this man never argue. Like, never. I've never had a relationship like that ever. Like, there's always been chaos and like, you know, I'd be worried. Like, he gives me his phone, like, babe, tell me if someone texts me. Like, what? When we go out, like, puts it in my purse. Like, let me know if someone calls. Like, there's just no, you know, there's no issues. I trust him.
You guys, this manifesting partner goals, I guess. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that with us, man. Like, I mean, when I was saying what I was saying, I wasn't expecting, you know, a response or for you to get into. I was just letting you know, like, what you were saying kind of brought me to a conversation we had last week. But then you just were just lovely and just shared that.
Nailed
with us.
it.
Yeah.
But that's exactly. But that is what the post. That's what I meant. Thank you for explaining that for me. That was wonderful. That you each do what you guys do to make sure that within the confines of your relationship, everything's good. Right. Yeah. And that's what works for you. That's what works for him. And that's why you guys are wicked. Sounds like, I mean, I'm not alone, you know. I heard this one story, you know, sounded like a good story to me, right? But that's what's up, right? You, no matter what it is, no matter
like you can't have ego. And you have to listen to each other. Those are the two like main components. Like you have to communicate, and like when you communicate to your spouse or your partner, they have to receive it and understand how you're feeling without making you feel like the way you're feeling is wrong. Like they have to like step into your shoes and understand like it doesn't matter their opinion. Like this is you and your feelings. Like let me understand why you're feeling like that, and then they need to know how to moving forward. Like my wife or my husband, I already know they don't like this because they already explained to me that when I do this, even though it's nothing for me and I don't mean it or it's not a big deal, but for them it's a big deal. So I'm no longer going to do this because I know it's going to bother my wife, and I never want that energy in our relationship. So there has to be like that understanding as well, you know.
Yeah. That takes big training though, right? That takes a lot of because some of us aren't, you know, at that capacity, at that level, you know, that level of understanding, you know what I mean? Like, and it's not because they don't want to be, but it's because they've never, like, that's not the way of being.
Until you see it differently, you don't see it sometimes too, right? Because some people, this is what the guy does and this is what a woman should do, right? Where even as you're talking about it, you each are doing what's necessary, right?
Yeah.
To keep your life moving forward. And maybe that's different for somebody else, right? And it's different for these other two people, but that's where being in a mature relationship, right? That's where that's the difference. And you know, it's enlightening sometimes as well, because there's different, you speak differently, you have different types of conversations once you realize that, I think, and that's what's very important. So
do you like the music he likes?
No.
Uh-oh.
No, not at all.
That's awesome.
But I'm forced to listen to it in the car.
All right. So now
he's the DJ. Is that why? That's what happens. He gets to play the music.
Who gets the aux cord?
Like
Exactly.
R&B and like, you know, lovers rock, which lovers rock is great, but like the whole car ride, you know, I want to hear some like some more up tempo music sometimes, you know.
Okay, so who do you like? Who are you listening to?
So I love J Island. I love Popcorn. I love just anything like motivational type, like usually dancehall type music is my go-to. But Popcorn and J Island, like they're like definitely my top ones. I do like Drake. Sorry guys, I do like Drake.
Wait, what's
no,
big,
yeah.
Sorry about.
Don't let these
the Dubois Army don't like Drake.
Don't let the millennials fool you, man.
Huh? The Dubois Army don't like Drake. What's going on? Wait, what's the sorry about?
When I tell people I like Drake, they're like, "You like Drake?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do." I like his lyrics sometimes, you know. Mm-hmm.
Or they don't like him because he flew that girl out.
I have no problem with his personal life, but he's a good lyricist, you know.
So J Island, Popcorn, Drake.
Yeah,
sound like a good class of people. All right, so your husband's gonna take you out to somewhere nice to eat. He knows your favorite restaurant. Where's that place he's taking you to?
Red Lobster. I like what I like. Yeah, I do.
I like what I like.
Expensive restaurants, I'm not enjoying the food, you know. Take me to Red Lobsters, I'm happy. Like, you made my day. I don't want to go to like the expensive steakhouse, you know.
So what's your plate? What's your meal?
It's definitely the ultimate feast.
Ultimate feast
with extra crab legs and extra garlic shrimp. So if you take me to a lobster, the bill's gonna be up there though. Like you're not getting the regular meal.
You thought it was a regular night.
Wild out.
We didn't go to an expensive restaurant, but it's gonna be expensive.
Yeah, right. We're gonna spend the same amount. Exactly.
I'll have an extra lobster. I have a lobster on the side.
Yeah, yeah, maybe two.
Oh man!
So trying to take a shrimp. Exactly. My aunt. That's my aunt.
What's up, Auntie?
She knows. She's like, don't try and take a shrimp. She knows.
Was that purple mystic? Don't you even think about it.
I'll just buy your own.
I wanted extra shrimp.
Yeah.
If you wanted extra shrimp.
I'm like, why didn't you order shrimp?
Oh man.
Yeah, so true.
Red Lobster. All right. So Red Lobster, popcorn. Do you watch television? Like, do you have time? You're waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning. You're going to Red Lobster after work. Like, do you have time for television at all? No television.
I don't. No,
Movies,
no idling
at all. Anything? No, nothing. Eh?
I watched a movie for the first time in a long time with my fiance on Sunday, but
what was it?
What was it?
What was the name of it?
Uh-oh.
so bad with names because I never watch it.
I have bad short-term memory too. Don't worry, I'm getting old. I got see the gray hair. I got pure.
Denzel Washington was in it though. I don't know if you guys know it.
Oh, yeah?
It was number one. It was the number one movie on Netflix.
Training Day.
No, it's a new movie.
This guy went back to the future.
Yeah, he's playing a cop. I don't know the name.
Oh, Training Day.
No, it wasn't Training Day. No, hold on. He's playing a cop, and they're trying to find a serial killer that's killing women and leaving them naked.
Oh, that's an old movie though. Still, or that's a new movie.
I think it's a new movie.
We gotta ask the Army for help.
Okay. Anyways. I'll find the name and I'll send it to you guys. I'll find it.
Oh Lord. This is, you know what? This is good stuff. I really enjoy your story. Like I said, I didn't know much about you. Sometimes people don't, their algorithms don't cross in the World Wide Web as much, but I think there's so much to take away from your journey and the story just as a whole. So I think that's very cool. I think you definitely need to keep doing what you're doing. I'm inspired. I'm a little bit inspired. I feel like I need. I don't know what I need to do. I just feel like I need to do something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You okay over there, Fitz?
Yeah. I was actually trying to find this Denzel movie.
You
didn't find that?
Yeah.
No, I'm seeing Equalizer.
Mm-mm.
I'm seeing Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
What now? We don't want to know what's in your algorithm, brother.
This guy now.
What happened? Oh, I'm just saying. You started some crazy stuff. You already started with some weird words and stuff. I couldn't handle it. The little things. The little things.
I'll text it to you.
Is that the movie, The Little Things?
Aisha Pineapple is trying to help us out here.
I was about to call her E-shaped in apple again.
I don't think that's what it was called.
It's a pineapple. It's a pineapple.
Aisha. All right, yeah, man, send it to us. Don't worry.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, it's 11:05.
I'm gonna find it and I'll text it to you guys.
Did you tell Shontelle in the pregame show that we got to try to make it to 11:11, which is 6 minutes away? Do you think you can make it 6 minutes, Shontelle? Did he tell you about that? Did he give you?
No, I didn't let her in. I didn't let her know.
I'm not going to tell you about it right now, but we in 5 minutes we're going to have some fun. Inside Man, Mrs.
No,
Ross.
it can't be.
Everybody's favorite Denzel Washington movie in the chat.
Okay, good question. Good
Anybody
question.
have a favorite?
Oh, it's called. Damn I see the pictures.
Everybody, put your favorite Denzel Washington movie in the chat.
What movie?
The name's not there. I can't find the
name.
You gotta ask. The pictures are coming up.
Deja Vu.
Is it Equalizer 2?
Oh, The Little Things.
The Little Things. Aisha Pineapple was right.
Yes, thank you, Aisha. The Little Things.
Aisha
Pineapple for that. You win 1 year subscription of Shontelle Dubois.
She would love that.
I didn't say that.
The opinions expressed here.
Malcolm X though. Johnny Q. Yeah, I like Johnny Q too. The Little Things. If you guys haven't seen it, I highly recommend you go watch it. The Little Things.
Would you say that's on Netflix?
It's on Netflix. Yeah. And I should tell you, Aisha is in the chat a lot. She's the one that made that big transformation. I know she's gonna kill me. The most recent one I've posted, the one where she's wearing a yellow shirt.
Okay, let me see. Do you mind if I show?
No, I don't mind. She might kill me tomorrow, but she'll be okay.
Aisha.
You got 3 minutes,
And I want to get to know you better.
How many times must she have heard that song? Yeah. Or how many times has she requested that at the club?
Okay, so let's see.
That first one there, that's her. Yes.
Bam. One shot.
Okay.
Yes, Aisha.
Aisha. Aisha. Okay. Fantastic.
So also, like, there's a platform called Radical Transformations, who they showcase and highlight transformations that like the bodybuilding world. And they're having a showcase, and they've asked me to come on stage with my top 5 transformations and have them be showcased at like the bodybuilding show, which is really good. And they're like, their show is aired on Amazon Prime, their award-winning show. So they'll be featuring me and my clients, and that's on October 7th. So that's Aisha is one of the clients that I'll be bringing with me to showcase her transformation. So that's going to be a huge event.
That is
amazing.
That is really, really cool. So I will I'll tell you what we do here, Shontelle. When I was asking us, Fitz is showing some of these transformations at 11:11, because I guess it's like some mystic number. It's in the clouds or in the retrograde or something like that. When we talk about it, we all take a hot second to like reflect and put good vibes out into the world as like a community. You know, we do something. It sounds like you got a nice community. So to the Dubois Army that's here, thank you very, very much for being here. But shortly, we're just going to do 1 minute of just good vibes in the chat and all that good stuff. So this stuff is amazing. Like, as I was researching some of this stuff is amazing. So kudos to you, number one, once again, for your perseverance, for waking up every day and showing up, as we've been talking about. Like this stuff is just, it's wild to me. And it was wild to me before hearing you actually tell it. So it's a little bit wilder, to be honest. So like good for you, for real. It's
thank you so much.
So cool. And yeah, thank you for taking the time to be here and telling that story. And big up to everybody in the chat. I'm sure we missed a bunch. I'm sure we missed a bunch of y'all.
And thank you for having me as well, guys.
Oh, absolutely. This is great. We love telling people stories, or letting people tell their stories, I think, is the best way to do it. So what we got? We got 10 seconds, everybody. If you subscribe, you got a 11:11 emote. Once again, this is Pizza in the Break Room, episode 62. It is now currently 11:11. So drop your 11:11s in the chat. If you don't subscribe, you can just type 11111 and hit enter. Story of the day, everybody, is just keep at it.
Yes, right? keep showing up.
Show up. Believe in yourself. Bet on yourself.
Yeah,
I think that's the story.
Whatever it is that you desire, whatever it is that you're working towards, whatever it is that you want to manifest, just take in this 11:11 energy. Keep showing up for yourself. Keep showing up for the people in your lives.
Show up for your community.
Show up for your community, and just keep showing up, and everything will manifest.
Show up for you.
You
keep reminding us that's the most important thing, regardless, right? Like, show up for you. At the end of the day, you gotta know your why, and you gotta do it for yourself. So everybody, we're gonna breathe it all in, and then just breathe out all that stuff, and all good energy in the chat. Thank you, everybody. It's now 11:12, so you can say bad things now. We can you feel it during that minute, and just, let it out. But yeah, thank you again, everybody. This is great. You have a wonderful story.
Yeah, this was awesome.
Thank
you so much. Is there anything else that you want to share? Like any like plugs, like your website, your
shout it all out.
Yeah,
all of it.
I'm just Shontelle Dubois everywhere. Like ChontellDubois.ca is my website. Shontelle Dubois is my Instagram. I don't have any other social media, so just Shontelle Dubois.
TikTok.
No, I don't have TikTok.
Let me see.
That's my daughter. So just like, I just want to leave you guys with, like, don't forget to love yourselves. No one else is going to do it for you, and people learn to love you based on how they see you love you, right? So people treat you based on how you treat yourself, what you allow, right? So just try really hard to get in the element of learning to love yourself.
Love that. Love that.
That's truly what it's all about. Look inwards. Look inwards.
Thank you so much, Shontelle. And thank you, everybody in the chat, for joining Pizza in the Break Room episode 62. Dubois Army.
Dubois Army.
Type Dubois Army in the chat.
Yeah, where you all at? Where you all at?
Yeah, Auntie Cheryl, I see you.
Rap.
I'm sure we got some more people in the Dubois Army tonight. So
yes, that's right. Yeah. And everybody who is watching, but you're not logged in or signed in, thank you so much for watching Pizza in the Break Room. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for joining Shontelle Dubois. I know you probably got a lot of people out there that aren't even logged in that are watching as well. So much respect and shouts out to y'all.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we're gonna find somewhere to run right now. So as soon as Star Q's on, perfect. We're gonna go right out to Star Q, everybody. So if you've not done the Twitch very often, we're gonna go visit one of our friends. Just stay tuned. We're gonna take you right over there and listen to some music. It's our boy DJ Star Q. But once again, thank you, everybody. Shontelle, you hang on. We're gonna jump into the back in a second here. Okay. But yeah, big up everybody. So if there's any shout out, you shout out anybody you want. DJ Che La Soul, I saw you up in here a hot second ago, so you're still here. Big up. Christy Ray, big up.
BK Sweetest Music, big up.
Everybody, there's a lot of people in
Thank you, Danica. Thank you. Big Daddy Woo Woo.
Big Daddy Woo. SOSC, Foxy G's in the bake room. Aisha Pineapple.
Aisha,
you are the girl.
I'm gonna play it out. I'm gonna play it. Sexy Nikki Boo, Ro.
Yes,
Spino, Spike Trap Claire. Oh, interesting. Stacy 80.
Denise Jojo, Mrs. Ron C. Christy Ray, what up, cuz?
Valentina Alcaraz, Wens, Nova Scotia. Wens. I know it's not Nova Scotia. I'm just going with Nova Scotia. Anywho,
Wens, I think that's Wendy, my trainer. She works at my gym.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Big up, Wens.
Hi, Wendy.
Big up. This is awesome. All right, everybody. You all have a wonderful, wonderful evening.
QWERTY Queen. Thank y'all, everybody. See y'all next time.
All right, we're out. 1 second. Oh man.